Hello and welcome to the DB Show Live. I am your host, DB, and I wanted to talk about family, bullies, and other things. But first, I'm going to get my breakfast and my cup of coffee, and I will be back. Okay, hello, I'm back. Now, as this chat's about family, bullies, and other things, I want to talk about how family. Now, as the saying goes, family comes first. Well, not with both my families, my family and my wife's family. You see, my family, um, mother that was acting a bit weird the other day, saying to some bloke she met on Facebook and saying she knows him and I've never seen him before in my life, and I've never heard of her talk about this bloke ever. Never mentioned him at all. And my brother and sister-in-law, they were concerned about it and all this. And then, probably about a week after that, started asking about money. Oh, we need money. And they make up all these different things. And I don't fall for them. You know, there's also a saying, you know, how, well, not exactly a saying, but cry wolf. Oh, hang on. I'm just going to put the fan on. Going to make that sound. Where kid cries wolf, people come running. Then a second time, people come running a second time. Kid, the boy cries wolf again, a second time. Then, when they realise that, oh, it's all a joke, a third time, oh, the wolf shows up. He cries wolf. No one comes to his rescue. And it's a bit like my brother and sister-in-law. They tend to bullshit. Now, I don't plan on helping them with money because, you see, most of the time, I need help. Right? But most of the time in the families, don't kind of help. Then there's my wife's family. What I have to put up with here, treated like shit, verbal abuse, things being smashed. Oh, like glasses. I've had enough. Tried to tell her mum a couple of times, or a few times. Do they bother coming over and helping? No. Half the time they say, oh no, we can't, too busy, all this blah, blah, blah. Oh, because it's not close, but they still could come out and help. But they don't. And I've had a bloody gutful of how I get treated here. But do you think family would help? No. But no. Family don't help whatsoever. Especially when we moved. Now, when you move, you have to make sure that you've packed everything away and you don't end up forgetting anything. Right? But when they, at that time, they helped move, instead of making sure that we had everything, didn't leave anything behind. Sorry, toast. They rushed. Oh, we have to rush. Now, when anyone when you move, and as you all know, when you move, as I said, you have to make sure that you've got everything. Everything's packed away in boxes, and there's not exactly a rush. But it just seemed to on that day that it was a Thursday, and rush. Right? I was stuffed, completely stuffed. After I had to pack up, I had to sit down and I had to have a rest. And it was rush. Oh, we can't take that. We have to leave that here over there. And most of the stuff in the bedroom, that was left there. Oh, we can't take that. So there was things that were left there. And not what we're both not happy about. But the thing is, if a family going to help with that, you don't rush when you move. But no, they rush. So, but that was sort of just the time that they helped with that. But and everything moved and left a lot of things behind. Now, what I have to put up with here is ridiculous. But no, they don't come and visit. Don't come and help and ask, oh, are you right? Everything's okay? If they did, I'd say, no, it's not. I'd say, what I have to put up with here is ridiculous. But no visit, nothing. And I do not want to have to put up with this anymore. But what am I got nothing I can't do. I can't go and move out and buy a place and move into it and get away from her. I don't have the money, so that was about family. Now, with bullies, there's actually two types of bullies. There's bullies that, as you know, at schools and all places and that people get bullied. And being bullied is not good at all because it can have a bad effect on the person that's being bullied. And a lot of the times they take their own life because they had bad enough. Now, the other type of bullying is cyberbullying, where people hide behind their computers and start bullying that person on any social media. And even the person that's being cyberbullied, also, as I say, can't take anymore, and they take their own life. And or there's bullies that think they're better than other people. I think one of my subscribers, excuse me, is being bullied and that. So which needs to stop. But they're still around, still bullies, and that's absolutely ridiculous, really. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, the thing is, that needs to stop. Also, there's something else that is a bit ridiculous. Now, but of course, everything was fine, and Right? You've all heard about the yes and no vote. That was a waste. That was a waste. The Prime Minister push the yes vote, yes vote, yes vote. And paid celebrities, apparently, to come on board and will join with the yes vote. Some people, I think they must have brainwashed. But I said to myself, oh, the no vote will win. And sure enough, it did. You see, the Australian people who the Albanese, the Prime Minister, doesn't think of only thinks of his pocket. Thinks that everyone in Australia was going to vote yes. But no, they voted no. And when I said to myself, oh, the no vote will win, and it did. And I thought, oh, good. Now, because the no vote won, Albanese, the Prime Minister, of course, has to be accounted for. All that money he wasted. $326 million on a yes campaign. Thinking he's going to win, but of course he didn't. And that money could have been used for better things. But of course, no. As I said, he wasted $326 million on a yes campaign. Probably used more money, but they never said whether he used more money or not. Just heard about the $326 million. Now, he doesn't. If he knew how the Australian public were like, he wouldn't have worried about a stupid yes and no campaign. But he did. But it was everyone, including me and all said that, why do we need this yes and no vote? It was ridiculous. He even, which I don't know why he did this, he even had drag queens holding up yes signs telling people to vote yes. Well, that was a bit of a waste, but he probably paid them, told them to just hold the yes signs up and say, vote yes, vote yes. Now, I got nothing against, drag queens or anything like that, gay people, they're all lovely people. But you don't use people or end up, might as well say, brainwash people, because there's a whole room full of people who must have either brainwashed or were all woke, and I've heard it must have been about with pronouns and all that crap. And end up wasting a lot of time. Seriously. I'm sure all those people had better things to do than waste their time on this yes vote. But anyway, the no vote won, which is good. But the point is, it comes down to money. Now, of course, there's this cost of living. That's another thing. Cost of living, everyone's struggling. Some people are angry about how prices are so expensive, including us, me. Prices are so expensive. And when you go into the supermarket, you think, oh, yes, I need to do some shopping. But these days, when you go and do your shopping, you don't come out all happy and think, oh, yes, I had a good day shopping. Instead of being like this, you're like this. Because I go in, do a bit of shopping, and if I wanted to, there's all different things. Let's say a packet of chips or something. I have to stand in the chip aisle, work out which chips are going to get cheap. If you want a cup of the coffee, oh, that's too expensive. Every bloody thing in the supermarkets is too expensive. Now, there's no need to keep bumping prices up and up and up, because you bump them up too far, you lose customers, and you go out of business. That's the thing. But do you think these companies think of that? No, they only think of their bloody pockets. Now, I've noticed that it's not just food in the supermarkets. It's also things in stores like Big W and all other stores. When say collectors, they collect the different figures. They're expensive, and they shouldn't be expensive at all. For they look like 6-inch big Star Wars figures, for example. Excuse me. They charge up to $40, $35 to $40, and I think, come on. Even the little figures, they charge $25. Now, a few years ago, you could get a Star Wars figure, a 3.75 one, for $10. But nowadays, these companies are greedy and bump up the price. Not very fair, is it? It's not very fair. And I think it's ridiculous because they put everything up. We all struggle, and including us. But the ones that seem to be wasting a lot of money, of course, the government wastes a lot of money, and the ones that make these reality programs, they waste millions of dollars, which they use millions of dollars to make shows, make these stupid reality programs. Then they pay people to go on them, and then with some of these programs, whoever wins, they pay out more money. Certainly got a lot of money to waste. They can make shows using that money and pay actors, At least you know that they're use the money to make shows and paying actors, not making reality programs. Now, how they managed to have this much money, I don't know. And the government, where do they get all that money from? They all must bend over, drop a big load out of their ass, and go, here you go, here's $1 million. Or, hang on, I've got another fight coming. So you got nearly $1 million to $1 billion. They bend over and drop big loads out of their ass. Hello, Charlie. How you going? Oh, good on you, mate. Yes, I'm at yep, 1,499. But I'll go up. So how are you, Charlie? How you going? So yeah, as I said, they waste a lot of money. They must bend over and drop a big load out of their behinds. Because all these channels seem to must have lots and lots of money. And the government got lots of money. They must get their money from the taxpayers. Because they just seem to waste all this money for nothing. I'm good. I remember when you were just at 1016K, you were there for a long time. Yes, I doing good. That's good. I was looking on YouTube at one time and noticed is 6 a.m. there. It's 12 p.m., 12 p.m. here. I think it's a bit cool outside at the moment. And I noticed that there's a guy talking about doing shorts of games, and so I started doing that, and that went really well, and then for quite some time. And sorry, that was Alexa. She has a habit of coming on when she's not supposed to. And then I noticed, it's going up, and it went up, and it's going really well. Now it just sort of it goes up. The views go up, but not as much. But I still do the shorts. I try to do videos, and I do more live streams. So but I do my best. So I feel as though I've just been getting a bit slack lately. So I've got to start doing more. Maybe do more live streams and shorts and that. I'll probably doing a live stream on probably StreamYard once I get an issue for the Ferrari, which is the lights. Excuse me. I'll be able to put the car together. So what I'm planning on doing is fixing up the whole room and using this space. At the moment I can't because it's got the base and the Spitfire on it. I'll have that sitting at the back of me, and I'll be using this space, and I'll probably have my phone on, and I'll have the live stream of that up on the screen. So you'll be able to see me on this one, and then on the other screen you'll see me put the whole Ferrari together, which I'll be doing. So then I'll probably do that more all the time. It's 9:14 a.m. here in the US. About 12. About 12. Well, 12, 14, 15 here. PM. So yeah, I'll probably be doing that a lot. And probably we did the diamond art, of course. And that. So I was saying with family and bullies, and you've got like the other type with the cyber bullies, and there's other things which are one's wasting millions and millions of dollars. And the programs that they waste money on, this reality rubbish, are ones that you think are not going to come back. Now, over here, we've got MKR, MasterChef, all other different reality programs they waste money on. And then they end up deciding to bring Big Brother back. Spend lots of money building I just want to do it with Big Brother because this is why they need to not waste money. They build the house. They have all these, you could say, contestants go in, stay in the house, and one gets voted off and one gets voted in, and then all these other stupid things happen. Then when the show finishes, they don't pull that house down or anything. It sits there. Now, I saw a video on, I think it was YouTube, where there was a person who went to the set house of Big Brother that they weren't using. And it must have been there for a couple of years. Still in the spot that they built it, but they never got rid of it. They left it there. You know, why build that? And when the super program finishes, they leave it there. What a waste of money! But it seems that these people, they love to waste money, even the government. Because one time I rang up one of the channels, I think it was just Channel 7, where we used to be able to speak to someone at Channel 7. But now it's sort of a bit hard to speak to people about at the Channel 7 about reality programs. But at the time I was able to, and I spoke to I think it was a woman, and I was telling about the making complaint made about one of these reality programs. And hello, GSS Videos. How are you doing? All doing tonight? Well, me, it's about 12:20 p.m. Australian time. It's a bit cool outside. Sun's out, a bit cloudy. And I said, "Oh, can't you use the money to make shows?" And the woman said, "Oh, we can use the money on whatever we want to make." So, in other words, they'd rather waste money on reality programs instead of shows, because we all like to watch shows and it's either maybe like it's 2:20 a.m. here. Oh, okay, no worries. How are you, GSS Videos? How are you going? When the woman said, "Oh, we can use the money what we want," I said, "Use it to make shows." Especially like during the week, you got some people that work. They come home, they might I feel like a shower and they had tea, and then they want to sit down and watch a show. Nowadays, you can record the program. I'm cool, thank you, buddy. I'm in the UK. Yes. No worries. It's all right. And I probably that's what I've said. I'm in Australia. Don't know if it's going to rain. A bit hard to tell. Looks like the sun's trying to come out. Must be behind the clouds. And I just got really angry about it, and I just hung up. And it just seems that they don't sort of care about shows. You know, we all like to sit and watch a show like Friday night or on the weekend. But when you're watching a show on one of the channels, you'll go to a break, and then they start saying, "Oh, this reality program's coming out," and you think, "Come on." We all know they're fake, and they're all script, and it's ridiculous. Especially with MKR, they make out that, oh, you got one of them, there was a villain and all this, and they're all arguing and all that, and we all know that's all a big put on, all for TV. I mean, I sometimes I might watch on channel like either 7, 9, and 10, and then I watch shows on Foxtel or Netflix or Disney Plus, sometimes Prime. Charlie says, "Hey Dad, what are you eating for lunch?" Well, actually, I'm having a late breakfast, so I've got toast with honey on, and I'm having a cup of coffee in my Star Wars mug. So I'm having a late breakfast. So it's ridiculous. All these ones that make these reality rubbish, they waste millions of dollars. The government wastes millions of dollars. I don't know how. I mean, it's probably the same in other countries, but we've got this cost of living, and everywhere's so expensive. Prices going up and up and up. And I think, well, why put everything up? Just put the prices down, sell things for less, you make more money. And end up making big profits. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems that we all have to suffer with everything going up and up. Food, things in the stores. I was saying about with GSS videos, I am connected with your channel already. Are you connected with mine? That's all right. It's all right to connect with other people. That's no worries. But it's. I just think it's ridiculous. As I said, we're all struggling. The cost of living. There's no cost of living. It's these greedy companies that bump prices up, bleed every cent out of customers, and think, well, the TV show, the channels, the government, they waste millions of dollars. And as I said, they must bend over and drop a big load out of their behinds. Well, that's what the ones that make these reality programs must do. the government must do that as well, or they're getting their money from the taxpayers, wasting a lot of money. And the other thing is, when one of them retires, they've got a whopping big amount of pension, massive. I think, well, that's not right. But the thing is, this wasting money on stupid things, and here, which we don't really need to worry about the yes and no vote thing, our Prime Minister wasted over $326 million on a yes campaign. He had drag queens he must have he paid lots of money to stand and hold signs and say, "Oh, vote yes." Now, you shouldn't use people like that. Charlie says, "See you later." Take care, Charlie. Take care, mate. Take care. But you shouldn't use people like that. Why? Excuse me. And then way before the weekend, you had all these people all for the yes with T-shirts with the word yes on them. And they must have been brainwashed or something, because when they end up losing, they showed them and they're all crying. Oh, and I think, well, there's winners and losers, but with this yes and no voting thing, there was no need for it. No need for it at all. Our government trying to split the public. So our Albanese Prime Minister thinking he's going to win, and he didn't win at all. So, but the thing was, on Saturday, as I was saying about when we went to vote, there was like two signs with the no vote and a lot of signs with the yes. And there was also one guy on his T-shirt and had vote no. And he was handing pamphlets out saying, don't, move this over there. Don't vote no, because if anyone votes yes, that's splitting the people. And it's good that Albanese, our Prime Minister, didn't get his own way, because he has a habit of, says one thing and then goes back on his word or breaks his promises. And what I thought was very unfair was, with the signs, you should have the same amount of signs. You've got both sides, one vote yes and the other vote no. But you had two signs with vote no and a lot of signs with vote yes. Oh, and there was lots of these ones that must volunteer or something with the yes. Oh, vote yes on their T-shirts. And there's one guy who had a T-shirt with vote no. He was making a lot of sense. Now, there was someone else that was Asian, but I'm not being racist or anything. He was trying to explain about the yes vote, but it didn't make any sense. And this is the thing. None of it was. They wouldn't explain. Even our Prime Minister, he wouldn't explain what's this voting thing really about. And yet, this one guy who had vote no, made more sense and explained things a lot better than anyone else. Oh, and our Prime Minister vote no, but the vote yes. A lot of people, including me, we all vote no. And as I said, that one guy with vote no on his T-shirt, explained more about, made a lot of sense than these other ones that want to vote yes. Now, the Prime Minister even had paid celebrities. Now, I'm going to mention about Rove McManus used to have that talk show a few years ago. And then he's on the panel on the project, right? And he's saying, "Oh, we're voting yes," and they say his 9-year-old daughter vote yes as well. And I thought, no. Oh, he was paid, and some of these other celebrities all paid lots of money telling everyone to vote yes, even though they didn't win. And of course, a lot of people are angry with Rove, and I wouldn't blame them. And I still think, which might sound a bit ridiculous, I still think that there is a big corporation that is controlling every single thing in every country in the world, telling the governments what to do, what to say, how to run the countries. Or it might be, this might sound a bit far-fetched, Illuminati. That might sound a bit far-fetched, but the thing is, the way things what's been happening in the world in every country, it makes you think. Even things over the past few years changed. In the Star Wars movie, Darth Vader's supposed to say, "Luke, I'm your father," and now he says, "I am your father." Line's been changed. A movie from the 1950s, 40s, a Laurel and Hardy movie, we're supposed to say, "Oh, that's a fine mess." Instead, it says, "That's a nice mess." If you look up on the net and put Laurel and Hardy movie, fine mess, it comes up. But the thing is, the line's been changed. You don't say, if someone makes a mess, you don't say, "Oh, that's a nice mess." "Oh, that's a fine mess you've made." You see what I mean? It sounds better they'd say, oh, that's a nice mess. In other words, oh, you've made a nice mess there. That's good. It's supposed to be that's a fine mess. This thing's been changed. And then, a couple of years ago, we've got this another thing. With Doctor Who, we had a female, and that split the fan base straight down the middle. You had one side that thought, well, that was really good, and on the other side, not so good. It was the most stupidest dumb thing out, and they wasted lots of money making episodes, series 11, 12, and 13, having a woman play the Doctor, and it was a waste of time. Especially the first episode, where I thought, oh, okay, here's a new villain, the Doctor, which I found that played by a woman, supposed to be played by a male, didn't seem to be strong enough, always seemed to be scared of the villain, but made out that she was strong and able to be up, go up against villains. Now, this particular villain, I thought, okay, that's fair enough. New villain, he looks pretty all right. But then when he took his mask off, his face was full of teeth. So he kills people, takes their teeth out of their mouths, and sticks it in his face. And I thought, sounds a bit like Predator. They'll kill, human in the movie, and what they take a trophy, and they put it up on the wall and all this. I thought, so the villain is a dentist villain. Probably doesn't take out the bad teeth. Take a really good tooth. When I saw that, I thought, he must go. What tooth will I take? Or he's got a bad. The tooth's a bit brown. I don't want that. I want a nice white one. Oh, there's a nice white tooth. I'll just take that out. Stick it in my face. Really? It was the most stupidest dumb villain out. And from then on, it went downhill. And then when finally I thought, oh, thank goodness, the 13th Doctor's going to regenerate. I hope it's a male. And sure enough, it was. But when I saw, and I think a lot of people saw this, David Tennant. Oh, the 10th Doctor is the 14th Doctor, which, as if we remember, in the 50th anniversary, the creator said, and end up meeting some old faces, something like that, which meant one of the faces, which was the 10th Doctor, ends up being the 14th Doctor. Which means the regeneration was all screwed up, because, as we all know, when the Doctor regenerates, the person he regenerates into always has his previous self clothes. But in this case, the 14th Doctor had all male clothes on, and you think, that's a bit strange. But the regeneration was screwed up. As we all know, the toy maker's back. More powerful than ever. Well, I've seen. And it comes out in November. Be alright if it came out sooner, but anyway. Which is on November next month. So I saw the trailer. It looks all right. It looks pretty good. But the 14th Doctor seems to sort of finding it hard to stop. I mean, I'd say he stops the toy maker because don't know how. But as I saw, it seems that the toy makers were powerful, and the actor who's playing the toy maker, Neil Patrick Harris, very good actor. I've seen him in How I Met Your Mother. I've seen him in with the Smurfs movie and a show years ago, Doogie Howser. Very good show. He's playing the toy maker now. I have to say, a good choice, very good choice, and especially when you hear him talk, it's like sort of another accent, but very good actor. So the one thing though is when the toy maker first showed up in that episodes with the first Doctor. The first Doctor was sort of, I'm not going to take any crap from this person. It's all fake. It's not real. He managed to stop the toy maker. Sort of end up destroying the toy maker's reality, but the toy maker was still there. But we don't see the toy maker for years until now. Now, I mean, it's good, but the 14th Doctor just seems to feel as though he's powerless. He can't stop the toy maker, but I'm sure he ends up stopping the toy maker. Now, I think originally they were going to have it where you've got the other guy who's black, lovely people, nothing against black people, lovely people. And he was going to be the 14th Doctor. But then when Russell T Davies came on board, and he's one of the directors that's sort of, really good. I mean, decided to have the 60th anniversary and brought back a character that we haven't seen for a long time. And I think maybe the reason why we hadn't seen the toy maker for so long is, I'd say, for example, the toy maker was building up his power, getting stronger and stronger. All right. Now, that's probably why. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but that's probably why. Maybe. But the 14th Doctor, it's, as I've seen, I'm sure everyone else has seen, seems as though he can't stop. He can't stop the Toy Maker, and not even the TARDIS doesn't stay around. That goes, and of course, you say, Donna's saying, even the TARDIS ran away. And the Doctor says, yes. And Donna says from the line, well, let's go and kick its ass. The one that scared the TARDIS away. Now, having, Donna and her husband and their daughter and that, which the one actress playing their daughter named Rose, which there's no connection to the actual one, but I think they named their daughter Rose. I think it must have been one of the other companions, the first one that we saw in 2005 when the show came back. But with the 14th Doctor, it seems that he just feels as though he doesn't know, he doesn't know what to do. Of course, he's a bit confused because at first he doesn't know who he is, and realizes that he somehow regenerated into one of his other selves, but it's slightly different to the 10th Doctor. But I'm sure that they I'm sure that they'll stop the Toy Maker. But while the 14th Doctor's trying to stop the Toy Maker, the 15th Doctor, who was supposed to be the 14th, it looks like he's in limbo. He's somewhere else. And of course he says, what the hell is going on here? He's wondering what's going on. So he's in, I might as well say in limbo. He says limbo is somewhere else. While the 14th Doctor is having a hard time trying to work out what to do. And this 14th Doctor seems to sort of, worried and, struggling, find it very, very hard to try and stop the Toy Maker because ends up a memory of one of his other ones he came up against the first time in his other self. And of course, as I say, he says, something's coming back. And, having others come back, you had Wilfred, the actor that plays Wilfred. He is in it. He's passed away now. Another good actor. He I first saw him in one of the other Doctor Who the movies that was on years ago, and he played a cop in it. Very good actor. And when I first saw him playing Donna's grandfather, I thought, good. perfect for the role. Because he's another awesome actor. It's unfortunate that he passed away. Very, very good. Another very good actor. But that was a good choice. And the one that plays Donna's mother, even that, good choice for that. And having Catherine Tate play Donna, that's another good choice, because she's got that, that voice, no, not going to take any crap, right? Especially when she says, oh, so the TARDIS ran away, right? And then says, oh, let's go and kick its ass, the one that scared the TARDIS away. Just has that the voice to not take any crap. And of course you've got the others. Now, it's good that the Doctor has a companion, once they're with him, because trying to stop the toy maker, and of course this 14th Doctor, who I said seems to have a hard time trying to work out how am I going to stop the toy maker? I came up against the toy maker in my first self, but his first self was calm, knew that everything was just was a fake and wouldn't take any crap. But if you, I think it's on YouTube, and there's a scene where Dodo says, Dodo, probably got the name wrong. She says to the Doctor, oh, he's gone, he stopped, even the other guy, and the guy says, toy maker stopped. But the Doctor says, yes, we've destroyed his reality, in other words, but the toy maker's immortal. And, it sort of says about it might come back, But as I said, as though the toy maker was gathering strength, power. So as soon as the 13th Doctor goes to regenerate, the toy maker interferes with it. So instead of the 14th Doctor being that other guy, it's a face from before. And the clothes end up changing, instead of the 14th Doctor having its previous self's clothes on. I mean, it probably would have looked a bit. It might have looked a bit funny, but still, he would have gone and changed. But couldn't do that because the toy maker interfered. So I'm sure that the 14th Doctor does stop the toy maker. There's another thing. The actress that plays Kate Stewart, another good actor, that plays the daughter of Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart. Now, there's a picture of the Doctor in a helicopter, and just behind that helicopter, there's another helicopter, one of those big helicopters that are able to lift big things, is carrying the TARDIS. And they're going towards this building, which looks a bit similar to the design of the Avengers, but inside is sort of different and all that. But by the looks of this, the 60th anniversary one, it looks pretty good. They got actors that are, excellent actors, actresses. They're all good, really, really good. And as I said, the actor that played Wilfred, Donna's grandfather, it was good to see him in that because, as I said, I first saw him in one of the Doctor Who episodes years ago, or movie. And as I said, when I saw him play Donna's grandfather, I thought that's a good choice because I hadn't seen him in anything for a long time. And, a shame he's passed away. Very good actor. But there's a picture where, or a scene where Wilfred's in a wheelchair and the Doctor's pushing him into the TARDIS. Now, with the inside of the TARDIS, they have shown a picture of how the inside of the TARDIS is. Instead of having stairs, it's got ramps. That's fair enough. Now, it looks like there's not anywhere to sort of sit, sit down. Maybe they'll put a seat there. I don't know. In the Doctor Who show years ago, you'd have one chair and had a hat stand, and fair enough. Okay. Even in the movie with Paul McGann, another good actor, where he had more like a home, so it was a bit more homey sort of thing, and had a nice comfortable chair, and he'd have he'd have a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits, and he'd read his book, and it was the Time Machine book, hardcover, which I've been trying to sort of get because I'm going to sort of, when I can, I've got all the bits and pieces. I'm going to sort of maybe do a Doctor Who fan film, which I'll have a second channel. But that second channel, I wouldn't be making money on that channel. This channel, yes, when I'm able to making money on this channel, but the second channel, no, that'll be a Doctor Who fan film channel. Still working on the name of the second channel. That the second channel will be for it's a bit more like entertaining and that with a Doctor Who fan film on the second channel. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the 60th anniversary of the Doctor Who. And as I said, it was good to see Wilfred in it, even though he's passed away. Very, very good actor. And I guess we all memories of him playing the grandfather, and being well known. I've even seen the bits and pieces of him on morning talk show, and how being in Doctor Who again, and that. So yeah, so it does look like that the 14th Doctor's at the moment sort of having a bit of a hard time trying to work out how he's going to stop the Toymaker. But there's just a couple little things that the express on face. Now, even though David Tennant's playing a different Doctor, even though it's sort of the Doctor's always the same Doctor, different face, like in the 50th anniversary where the Bad Wolf says with the sonic screwdriver, same software, different case, as it is the same thing with the Doctor. But when Donna says the TARDIS ran away, and of course the look on the 14th Doctor is sort of the bit of the similar look on the 10th Doctor. So I think I think because David Tennant has to sort of play a different Doctor, but still sort of the same Doctor, but a different face, just seems to really as though he's struggling and trying to think, how am I going to stop the Toymaker? Stop the Toymaker before. And I think since the Toymaker is making an own reality of London and where the Doctor and where they all are, I would turn the tables on the Toymaker. Instead of getting angry and frustrated and can't work out how we're going to stop the Toymaker, do what the first Doctor did. Sort of calm and think, no, not going to take any crap. But yeah, I looking forward to that. I've heard, and I think a lot of people have heard this, there's going to be a music episode of Doctor Who. There's just one thing wrong with that. It's not sort of really good. I mean, they did it in Buffy. Even though the cast in Buffy, they can sing really good, and they were up against a bad person that was making people sing and dance and all that. But I think that was sort of worked. But in Doctor Who, the Doctor comes up against someone that makes people dance and sing. I don't think they should have that in Doctor Who. I don't think it's a good thing to have. I think it's a bit of a wrong choice. It's a sci-fi show, and they come up against a villain that makes people dance and sing. So, but I mean, the other thing which is good, and is there's a picture of the actor that played the play of 15th Doctor, where there's different in certain times where they're sort of wearing the clothes for that century. That's all right. That's fair enough, you know. And then we've got, looks like, what, 1960s sort of thing. Okay, that's fair enough. Which I think with the first Doctor, sometimes they wore they'd wear the clothes like in the Roman time, where they wore the Roman clothes and that to sort of, in other words, blend in. That was fine. But I just don't think it's a good idea to have a musical one. I mean, I guess we just have to wait and see. But as I said, when I first saw the 13th Doctor regenerate, I thought, oh, it's a male. I thought, same. You've got the same face of the 14th Doctor. And that's when I remembered what the curator said in the 50th anniversary, and even meeting old faces. Now, whether or not that was sort of a setup for the 60th anniversary, I don't know. But I end up finding out why his 10th self face, and then showed the toy maker. Now, as I said, Neil Patrick Harris, excellent choice for the toy maker, because he can do perfect. He's just perfect for that. Now, the actor that played the toy maker years ago, that actor played the butler in Batman with Michael Keaton. And even he's another excellent actor. And he, even though I've seen just about nearly every episode of the first Doctor, but that particular episode I sort of didn't get to watch, because it just a bit hard to watch that episode unless I'm able to have a look on YouTube and try and find that episode. But he was a very good choice to play the character. And then years later, the toy maker comes back, interferes with the regeneration, and instead of the 14th Doctor having its previous self clothes, it's got all different clothes. And then we find out, oh, the toy maker's back, and they've got an excellent actor to play the toy maker, Neil Patrick Harris. Perfect. And I know that there seems to be, I've heard, I don't know whether this is true or not, where they're going to have the two Doctors there. I don't know. But they have showed where inside of the TARDIS there's sort of a regeneration. But there's two pictures where the Doctor says he doesn't want to go, and then the other picture of him, the 14th Doctor, saying he wants to go. So it's sort of, in a way, it's sort of a bit hard to sort of think, oh yeah, that's going to happen in that episode, or the 60th anniversary. Because one thing, there'll be, you see something on the net and you think, oh, that's going to happen in it. but then when you watch it, it doesn't. But I think they just sort of make everyone think, oh yes, that's going to happen. But then when you watch it, it doesn't. So I mean, and Omega, which came back twice. Omega, we saw with up at the 3 doctors. The first Doctor, the second Doctor, and the third Doctor. But the first Doctor, played by William Hartnell, at the time it wasn't well, and of course I think that's why they couldn't have him play the Doctor anymore, because they noticed that he wasn't well. And of course, Sidney Newman back then, who thought of regeneration. Good idea. I mean, you have a different actor, same Doctor, different face. And that sort of carried on over years, right up until now. So, good idea. And it was good to see William Hartnell in that one with the 3 doctors, but with the 2 actors, that played the doctors, they with their other companions and all that, and they stopped Omega, and the first Doctor, of course, they had William Hartnell sitting on a chair, and it's come up, moving towards the view screen. That was a good idea. So at least he's part of that episode, even though he couldn't, running and and that. So that was really good. And then they sort of they stopped Omega, and we didn't see him for a long time, and then the 5th Doctor ends up being up against Omega, who ended up being looking like the 5th Doctor, but he couldn't stay that way, because it started to, in other words, decay. It just wouldn't hold together. In other words, it started to fall apart. And of course, as it's all the 5th Doctor they chase after Omega, and you can see that it wasn't holding together, because he was sort of crouched over, and it was sort of green, and you could see his face, but it wasn't holding together, because it wasn't work. Started to, in other words, decay. At first it did, but then sort of slowly, gradually, it started to fall apart. And the Doctor stopped Omega again. And then years later, after, it came back, it went off. It went off after the 7th Doctor, then came back in 1999, and we had the Doctor Who the movie. Eric Roberts playing the Master. I thought he did a good job. I think it would be really good to see Paul McGann's Doctor, 8th Doctor, to make an appearance and end up having to help the other Doctors stop some villain, Another good really good actor, John Hurt. It was a really, well, to me, a lovely thing to have him part of the Doctor Who franchise. They had him as the other Doctor. He did a really bloody good job. He's unfortunately he's passed away. Brilliant actor, another brilliant actor as well. Seen him in Alien, Harry Potter. He was in some of the Harry Potter movies. Who was the shopkeeper of the wands. That's a good choice. Very good choice. And I will say that was a very good choice of him playing the other Doctor. Part of that franchise. Very good. Another very good choice. And, you know, I used to do figure reviews of the Doctor Who figures, but then all of a sudden it got to a certain number and they stopped coming in. It'd be really, really good if they start them up again and brought them out. Be able to do reviews on those. Because it'd be nice to be able to. Hopefully, new builds come out because it's really good. Because at the moment, I'm doing the Batman tumbler car, which here's part of it. I mean, I did a video on it. There's part of the car, which is good. So I'm sort of enjoying doing that build as well. I'll get back to when we talk about Doctor Who a bit more. The Ferrari, which at the moment I'm waiting on an issue with the lights at the back of the car. Once I get that issue, then I can start putting the car together. And as I said, I'm going to fix up the room properly so it looks like a man cave, and sit here and have my phone facing down so that I'll do it on StreamYard. So then I can have another. You've got me on this camera, and then you've got the Ferrari together and all that. With the phone, the camera down, but I'll have that volume down just in case it, makes a funny noise or crackles. That might not, but then I'll put it together. I have tested the speakers. Everything's working, which is good. It starts. So it's really good. So I'll be doing that. Now, as I said, with Doctor Who, there's actors that are really good choice. And no, the 15th Doctor, male. I mean, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if the 15th Doctor is black, because they're all they're lovely people. I haven't got, friends here, black, lovely people. And with him, even though he's black, that's fine. That's fine. As I said, they're lovely people. It's a male. And the thing is, with having a male play the character Doctor Who, as it's supposed to be all the time, because they haven't had a female play it. No, not strong enough. Having a male, they're strong. Even though the 14th Doctor seems a bit as having a hard time trying to work out how's he going to stop the toy makers. Struggle. But as I said, having a male play that character as it's supposed to be played by a male, they can, go up against the villain. Yes, but with I think with the toy maker coming back, sometimes I think the Doctor might struggle a bit. Other times doesn't. We've all had all different actors play the Doctor. We've had in the Five Doctors, we had an actor play the first Doctor. He did a pretty good job, and then we had we could say like a true story of William Hartnell. That actor playing William Hartnell, playing the Doctor, very good actor. And then they had him come back in episode with Peter Capaldi. That was a pretty good idea, where it was funny where they had to go. They at first, when they meet, there's this guy who's been taken out of time and says, I'm looking for a doctor. And I say, are you kidding? And then the 12th Doctor goes in the TARDIS, and of course the first Doctor saying, oh, you'll be very surprised. And then they walk in and go, oh my, what? This is not my TARDIS. And it was funny because the reaction on the first Doctor's face. He said as though it was like a big disco hall, the way it, and he's saying, what have you done to my TARDIS, blah, blah, blah. And it was really perfect, and I know that the audio one with that actor that played the Doctor in that episode with Peter Capaldi is doing audio ones of Doctor Who. That's very good, pretty good. I mean, I haven't listened to the audio ones, but as yet. But there over time there has been really good actors, and then there's just been one, Jodie Whittaker that played the 13th Doctor, didn't seem to be strong enough. But now it's males. But there's still some actors that are around. You've got David Tennant, Colin Baker, Tom Baker, Sylvester McCoy, who are still around. A couple of them are passed away, which is William Hartnell, Patrick Troughton, and Jean Bethuy. Which, with Jean Bethuy, Sean Bethuy looks exactly the same in the face, exactly the same as his father. Now, if they had it where the third Doctor met one of his future selves and they both had to work together to stop a villain, that would be really good. But of course, Jean Bethuy, who's passed away, they wouldn't be able to have him play the third Doctor, but they'd be able to have his son put on a grey wig, the clothes that the third Doctor wore, and have his son play. Because, as I said, if anyone has seen Sean Betwee, who was in the Gotham show, he looks very, very much like his father in the face. And I think if they put a grey wig on his head, he put the costume on that his father wore when his father played the Third Doctor, he'd look exactly the same. And I mean, I don't know whether Jean Betwee would do that, or whether they have an episode where the Third Doctor meets his future self, or whether actually, whether Jean Betwee would do that in his honour of his father. I don't know, but they've had two actors play the first Doctor. One, they have who did the True Story of William Hartnell, and then they had him play the Doctor in the episode with Peter Capaldi. Now, they're all excellent actors. And I also like with Peter Capaldi, who actually plays electric guitar, and they had it in that series where the Doctor's playing electric guitar. Very good idea. So I as I said, I'm looking forward to the 60th anniversary, and yeah. So yeah. So even though, I as I first started talking about with family, don't seem to come and help. Don't visit my wife's family. Don't visit. Don't ask how things are or anything like that. Even though they helped us move January last year, it was a rushed job. Now, when you move, this is nothing. When you move, you have to make sure you got everything packed up and ready to move. But that wasn't the case. I had to rush. Have everything out. Boom, just like that. And since then, no, don't bother to come and help. What I have to put up with here is ridiculous. Verbal abuse, be treated like shit. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I just wish her family would help, but if I had the money, I'd buy a place, move into it, to get away from her. I'd have a better life. A bloody better life. Then I'd be able to stream any time of the day, morning, noon, or night. Do videos, I mean, I know I do videos now, and I do short videos, and I do live streams when I can, because a lot of the times when I try to do a live stream when she's home, I'm too tired because I have to help her with this and help her with that. Do this, do that. And then when I want to do those things, I'm too tired. So, I mean, I can only do things when she's not here. I can relax and, when she's home, I sit down, I hear Darren this, Darren that, Darren this, Darren that, and it's so annoying. Half the time I feel like I don't have time to myself. I can't just sit down and watch a show. Anyway, Um, so that was family and bullies. Um, and of course, there's cyber bullies, and then we'll talk about other things. Um, as I said, I do know one of my supporters, which is being, um, it was being bullied and harassed and all that. Um, these particular bullies think they're just it. They can, you know, draw better than one of my subscribers that's being bullied from them. One of my subscribers um, draws really well, and these bullies think they can do better. These bullies, all they do is bully people. Um, it's not good when it's being bullied. Um, even cyberbullying, uh, because it can have a bad effect on the person that's being bullied, and when it gets too much, they end up taking their own life, which is not good at all. It happens with it happens with kids in school, high school, adults, and they end up taking their life. And I heard a couple of years, or about 2 or 3 years ago, where there was a female, I think was on Twitch, who was being. Hold on. Hello. Yes. Yes. All right. I'll call you up there. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. That was her calling me. Asking, did you bring the washing in? Did you bring the washing in? And of course I did. Anyway, as I was saying, with being bullied, as I said, you know, kids in school, high school kids, adults will get bullied, cyberbullying. Now, being bullied isn't good at all, because they can go too far and it has a bad effect on the person, and they can't take anymore and they take their own life. Cyberbullying, which is even far worse. They go on social media, and they say this and say that nasty things, and they don't care if they're hurting that person. Even people being cyberbullying can get too much and they take their own life, and it's not good at all. Now, the other thing, which is when when women are being verbally abused and harassed and being violently abused, they've got somewhere to go, and then people come running and to help them. But there is some women that lie and try to ruin actors' reputations. Ruined one actor's reputation, and then they found out that those females were lying. But with being verbally abused, harassed, not so much bullying, but verbal abuse, treated like dirt, when it happens to a male can't go to anybody. That ends up getting too much, and they end up taking their own life, and that's not right. And I think that what I'm sort of what I have to put up with verbal abuse. Smash that glasses, and then I have to clean it up, and I verbally abuse, treated like shit. As I said, if I had the money, I'd buy a place, move into it, and get away from her. I'd have a better life because for quite some time my life sucks. But do you think her family would help? No. I've told the mother about what's going on. It's as though I couldn't give a shit. Couldn't care less. So I've got to put up with this for the rest of my life. As I said, if I had the money, I'd buy a place, move into it, and get away from her. I'd have a better bloody life. Anyway, that was chat about family, bullies, and other things. What was that? Anyway, so take care, Charlie. Take care, GSS videos, and take care, everybody. Take care, GSS videos. Take care, Charlie. And as I always say, don't forget to put a like, put a comment, share, subscribe, and soon I'm going to fix up the room, look a bit better, look a bit more of a man cave, and have the base of with the Spitfire plane on top, sitting up the back there, and I'll be doing, live streams here. So you'd see me, so I'd be facing this way, and then and that. So take care, Charlie. Take care, GSS videos. Take care, everyone, and bye now. This is DB signing off.